You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video. Hey guys, Nary here from Drake Wing Gaming. Some of you know me on Twitter, The Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming at you another Let's Play episode of Lyre. So, the last place we left off, I believe... Oh my goodness. So much had happened. And he exits the door, closing behind him with a muffled thud. Oh yes, yes. Prince Adrius paid us a little bit of a visit. And he's very suspicious of Lord Luvun, but he has good right to be. I mean, it's this person who he's never met before is having visions from his father's perspective of how his mother died. You know, that's a lot to take in. But anyway, guys, let's jump right back into it. Please let me detain you for the next 20 minutes, and let's go. All right, alarm chain, you're up. Okay, let's do it. With that, he exits the door. The door closing behind him with a muffled thud. I'm still standing at my desk, my muscles straining and my head feeling a bit weak. That edgy little brat. I say this in a low voice after hearing that last comment. Sometimes I'm surprised that we're only a little over a year apart. I pull the chair up and sit back down in it, feeling a bit lightheaded. What did he mean by that? Does he have spies roaming about? It would make sense considering he's a noble in an environment full of uncommon and unfamiliar people. But he doesn't seem like the paranoid type. Although having spies never really hurt anybody. But for what reason would I want to cause trouble? It just doesn't make any sense to me. I fiddle with the trinkets and items on my desk in a lazy manner. I'm thinking too much about this. It's most likely an empty threat from a person I still haven't gained the trust of. And I haven't done anything wrong. I still can't help getting the feeling that I'm being watched. It's not a feeling I enjoy. He's just an untitled brat that needs to get out more. An untouchable entitled brat. I'm going to watch my step around him, though. But I'm definitely not going to bend to his will. His mother's death is no excuse to be rude and insensitive. I rest my head on my desk and try to think about something else. The ball should be starting soon, and I haven't gotten ready yet. There's another knock at the door. Coming! I open it to find a servant standing in the doorway. Lord Luvun, the Winter Solstice Ball will be starting shortly. I've been sent to help you prepare and escort you. He's a small badger with plain clothes and a pleasant face. He looks to be older than I am, but I really can't tell. For me, it's much easier to judge a human by their age. Prepare? Yes, getting dressed and whatnot. Oh, no, I don't think I'll be needing help with that. I'm quite capable of dressing myself, thank you. He seems shocked by this, but I can tell he doesn't object. Very well, I'll be outside ready to escort you to the ballroom when you're done. Thank you. Of course, my lord. He leaves through the door, and another gust of wind pushes into the room. This coat is no longer keeping me from getting cold, so I quickly toss it off and throw it to the side. As I stand there, shirtless, looking in the mirror, I can't help but feel amazed at how my body has been able to stay in shape. I've always been more on the lean side, but I still have plenty of muscle and a toned body. My arms and the better part of my torso are covered with a moderately thick layer of hair as well as a few scars from my past. The winter sunlight from the setting sun shines on my golden skin in a very nice way. I've never been one to care too much about my looks, but maybe Lyle is right. Maybe I am one of the most desirable bachelors in Erin. Then again, no family name puts a damper on that. I'd be nothing more than a pretentious flirt. As I think about my vanity, I mess with my hair in the mirror, trying to see if I can make it look special for tonight, but I just settle with tying it back. I walk over to one of my chest of drawers and pull out the neatly folded suit I plan on wearing tonight. It's a light and breathable black wool coat with silver buttons and silk accents. There's a vented back flap and a cape attached to the shoulders that flows nicely down to the back of my knees. Along with it is a pair of black trousers and a white dress shirt with ruffled sleeves. To top it off, there is a pair of ballroom shoes that I have been saving for this occasion. They are sleek black with leather laces and silver aglets. Aglets. That's a weird word. To add some color, there's a diamond blue silk scarf that tucks into the collar of the outfit. I take it over to the mirror and start to undress. After I'm fully nude, I dampen a towel and freshen up. Once I'm dressed, the sunset has already shifted to a moonlit evening. The servant outside of my door has already addressed me several times, letting me know that the festivities have most likely already started. I'm in no rush, though. I'd never like to arrive to a gathering early. Arriving to a party too early can result in many uncomfortable situations that I would rather avoid. I'm still reeling from my encounter with Adrius from earlier. I'd rather avoid people dumping information and unwanted questions on me at the current moment. Tonight is supposed to be a night of pleasure and clever conversation. After the last few stressful days, I would like to take my mind off of everything that has happened. Unfortunately, that will seem impossible with the people that are going to be there. Wherever they go, they bring scandals and trouble. I was about to say sandals, and they bring sandals and trouble. It was never like this in Erin. I feel like I'm in a charade of falsities. Nobody ever shows their true intentions, except him, of course. Lila's different from the rest of them. I guess that's what I like most about him. Conversation between the two of us is as formal as ever, yet it feels genuine coming from him. I guess the main reason why is because I can trust his loyalty. Loyalty, I say to myself out loud. I guess it really is one of his most admirable qualities. Usually one would admire someone who inspires loyalty, but I for one have always admired those who show it. It takes a great amount of bravery and trust to follow someone to the end. My lord, are you all right? Have I saved it yet? Yes, I have. I've already saved it. Yep. My restless ramblings fade away as the servant outside breaks me from my inner thoughts. Yes, I am. Thank you. We really should be going. The king is Oh, that's okay. It's the servant talking. Okay. The king is expecting you, and will start to wonder where you are. When he says this, I feel a twinge of guilt, so I quickly straighten out my suit in the mirror and adjust my hair. Yes, of course. I'll be out in just a moment. As I am walking to the door, I spot something on my desk that makes me realize that I've almost forgotten something. It's my silver ring from Erin, with a sapphire socketed in the center. I usually wear it on special occasions, mainly because I'm not really a ring person. They always seem to get in the way of doing anything with my hands. I pick the ring up and slip it onto the middle finger on my left hand. I'm tempted to slip it onto my ring finger, but then people would assume I'm engaged. Which is not the case. I do tinker with the idea of someone slipping an engagement ring onto my finger for just a moment. It is sends a chill up my spine, and then some when I think of Lyle doing it. His gentle claws pinching the ring and sliding it up to my knuckle. God, I've got to stop doing that. I stride up to the door and pull it open. I'm instantly met with a chilling rush of wind in my face. The air outside is dry, cold, and immediately makes my face feel numb. Good God, it's freezing! It is the first day of winter. I didn't expect it to get so cold. I pull my scarf up around my neck and tuck my hands into my armpits. Our winters are famously harsh. The vitality fire helps with that, though. He walks ahead, and I quickly shuffle behind him. The weather isn't nearly as bad as it will get, though. Soon the plants will have to be brought in, because at one point the fire isn't enough. He turns around and notices me shivering uncontrollably. Don't worry, my lord. The ballroom is not very far. Just call me Luvun. As you wish. The further we go into the castle, the more warm the air becomes. Once we get closer to the grand hall, we see more and more people. Ladies in bright, colorful dresses and men in black suits similar to mine. They seem to be on their way into the ballroom. This way, Luvun. Your party will be near the king's lounge. I turn around to see him ushering me down a single hall with a high roof. There's a few attendants standing outside of the front door wearing beautiful black uniforms. They stand straight when they see us approach. Here you are. 2 attendants open the double doors and usher me to walk through. I'm surprisingly nervous. The sudden change in temperature causes a chill to run down my spine, and I suddenly break into a cold sweat. It's now or never. Thank you. Of course. I step through the doorway and enter onto a balcony. I'm left completely speechless. Oh, what a beautiful scene. If I had a single word to describe the ballroom, it would be elegance. This section alone is completely massive, with a roof almost as tall as the throne rooms. There are large, thick ivory curtains that line the walls, closing off sections of the hall. Large pillars of pale marble and stone adorn the walls and corners of the room, with a grand U-shaped staircase leading down the balcony I'm standing on. Tables are strewn about the sides of the hall in a loose yet satisfying fashion. Candles, plants, and enchanting centerpieces decorate the tables and cast a soft, warm light on the faces of the people sitting at them. The floor shines brightly and almost reflects everything like a mirror. Its checkered pattern reminds me of a chessboard. It makes sense considering that chess is almost like a dance in a way. There are a lot of individuals out on the floor. Most of them are avians and mammals. Some of them are standing off to the side in small groups, each group chatting amongst themselves. The others are dancing to the beautiful waltz playing from the small stage at the base of the balcony. The music is very lovely and brings life to the room. One touch that the room has that catches my eye is a dim pink light that comes down from the chandeliers above. It casts the entire room in a rose hue and changes the ivory into a light pink and the marble into a rose quartz. There are already a few people walking down the steps, a few couples with elbows locked. I begin to head down the stairs behind them and reach the bottom. The wall to my right is lined with tables full of delicious-looking food. Pastries and tarts line trays along with small boards of cheese and olives. Ooh, cheese and olives. Fruit towers and cobblers are arranged neatly on plates, and there's an entire table dedicated to kegs of different types of fine wine. Each keg has a labeled tap, and in the very middle is a table with a pyramid of wine glasses organized delicately in the center. Each glass is filled with a different type of wine, and in the center is a decorative candelabra that shines light through all the glasses, creating a colorful light show on the floors and walls around it. Wow. Yes, indeed. Gah! Kadaj seems to appear behind me a few steps up the stairs. He reaches my level and puts his paw on my shoulder. Absolutely stunning, is it not? He gestures out towards everyone dancing on the floor. All of our hard work paid off, wouldn't you agree? Well, all of your hard work. My job was rather easy. He says this last part offhandedly, but in an amusing way. I suppose so. He pats me on the back and steps down. I get a good look at his outfit. It's a sleek black outfit with gold trimming. The suit fits him nicely and makes him look agile and graceful. A small golden crest is placed on his left breast along with a green lapel. To top it off, there's a green satin necktie wrapped around his collar. Once again, he has matched his clothes with his bright green eyes. Oh, what music. Beautiful music. As I eye his suit, I notice him looking me up and down. Luvun, I must say you look rather handsome tonight. Even after what happened yesterday. Oh, thank you? Is he flirting with me? Or is he just messing with me? You can never tell with the kiddies, can you? You look good too. You like it? He says as he puts emphasis on his suit. Outfits like this are very popular with gentlemen in dress. I had it tailored to fit my body perfectly. Well, it certainly does. Thank you. There's a moment of silence which I decide to break. Did you decide to come with anyone tonight? No, I don't think so. That's perfectly alright. There are plenty of people on the dance floor without a partner. I'm surprised he didn't manage to secure a partner. I'm even more surprised that girls weren't flocking after him like a murder of crows. A foreign lord with a distinct accent and charming good looks? He's perfect. Though I don't see anyone doing any of the dances I know. Not as athletic as I had hoped. But still, it is a dance. He puts his paw on my shoulder again. He's certainly the physical type. I'll see you out on the floor. He turns to walk away, but stops in his tracks. Oh, one other thing. Enjoy tonight while it lasts. I am told that tomorrow is when the real work starts. What do you mean by that? He walks toward a group of people and does a flourished bow to a black cat. She accepts his advance and they lock elbows, walking away from the group towards the dance floor. So it's that easy, huh? Well, for him at least. I wish it was that easy for me. What did he mean by that last remark, though? What's the real work going to be? I look over toward the stage and admire the musicians to take my mind off of it. There's a small river otter playing a grand piano. Chase? Chase, is that you? It's about half the size of a regular piano, and still his feet can barely reach the pedals. He's wearing a black suit with a ruffled collar. His playing is pretty good, and I become entranced by his paws sliding up and down the keys. That is, until I notice the sweet melody coming from the violinist. They were a snow leopard with a flowing mane of brown fur, wearing a black suit with ruffled sleeves and a ruffled hem. His eyes are closed as he performs the waltz, standing front and center. You can really tell that he's feeling the music as his fingers dance across the strings. Truly a master. I've always been a fan of music. The world just can't do without it. The stage they're standing on is framed by a tasteful golden archway, with curtains falling down to the ground. The gold is textured so that it catches the light in an interesting way. Each intricate swirl and detail is graced by sparkles of candlelight. The acoustics of the stage are nice too, and it allows the music to travel around the entire room. This room must have cost Raynar a fortune. Speaking of Raynar, damn it, I should have asked Kadaj if he knew where the King's Lounge was. He's actually stepped foot into this room several times during the planning, while I have not. Too late now, I may as well go looking for it myself. As I'm about to walk around the outer walls and find my way among the crowd, I notice a tall pair of antlers. I recognize them as Raynar's horns, considering the other deer in the castle are a bit shorter than him. His antlers are also much taller. On my way over, he spots me. Luvun! Raynar says this in a surprisingly jovial tone. Hello! He's certainly decorated. His outfit is simple and beautiful. A dark black suit with a shoulder cape. The cape is adorned with a golden peacock feather pattern with a green gemstone in the center. The suit also has the Ossian crest placed on the left breast. The outfit does a good job of showing off his body, too. With that big coat on all the time, you don't get to see much, but he is quite muscular. I would even venture to say he rivals Lyle in that department. He's truly the biggest stag I've ever seen. The most interesting part of his choice in fashion is the golden flecks that he has decorated one of his antlers with. Everything matches and it's all designed beautifully. I didn't even notice that. That is weird. That is rather eye-catching now. I was too busy looking at that. The eye candy. I expect nothing less from a king. Your suit is very nice, Luvun. Is it from Aaron? Yes, and it was very hard to find something like this. The weather is much more harsh than I predicted. He takes a drink from his glass. I can't imagine how hard it would have been to find something warmer. I'd imagine it would be very difficult. A server walks by and Raynar places his empty glass on the tray. He also grabs a new one. Before the moment is lost, I prepare to apologize for what happened. Raynar, I wanted to apologize for what happened the other day. It was not my intention to cause so much chaos. I was just very frightened and I should have taken more control of my emotion. He holds up a hand to stop me from going any further. It's perfectly fine, Luvun. We move closer to the edge of the room as he continues to speak. His hooves clop on the ground in a satisfying way. You don't have to apologize for anything. Leif explained to me what you told him. He did? Yes. You don't need to worry about it. I was hurt and confused at first, but I knew you wouldn't act so unhinged without a reason. We shall talk about it later in private. Oh, okay. He glances around the room while we talk, and I notice him set his eyes on something. Ah, here comes Elizabeth. Maybe you can get a chance at a second. Maybe you can get a chance at blah, my tongue. Maybe you can get a second chance at a first impression. He says this, jabbing me in the shoulder with his elbow. That would make it a second impression. Oh, she looks pretty. Wow. She looks completely different from how I remember her. She's looking at me with a perplexed look that slowly fades into a look of slight discomfort. Perfect. Her hair is no longer loose and tied back, but is instead brought up into an intricate braided crown with gems weaved throughout the braid. The dress that she wears is a light cyan cloth with crystal-like leaves delicately sewn onto the base. The sleeves come down past her hands and drape by her sides. It's a very pretty dress, but I'd appreciate it if she would stop staring at me with those dead eyes. You certainly look better. She says this in a droll tone. Yes, thank you. I apologize for the other day. She wastes no time in answering. Apology accepted. I don't really understand what was going on, but Raynar speaks very highly of you. I trust his judgment. She turns to him slowly with a cocked eyebrow. I just hope he trusts his own judgment. Raynar rolls his eyes amusingly at this comment, not taking it too seriously. Liz, he has been nothing but helpful. And a good friend. Liz? She tilts her head at him with a look of intrigue. If you say so. Another servant walks by with a tray of drinks. She takes one off, and so do I. Liz, why are you not dancing? I thought you enjoyed dancing. You talk so fondly of your experiences during your stay in Driss. She smiles and takes a sip from her glass. I have already danced to a few songs with a couple of lords, but I have been taking a small break. I'd like to see you dance in these. She lifts her dress and gestures to her footwear, which look a bit uncomfortable. Hell, I'd like to see him wearing shoes. I say this and point at his hooves. That would be an interesting sight. He chuckles as he retorts. Even Elizabeth lets out a laugh. The jokes and small talk help to lighten the mood a bit. Elizabeth sighs and then looks over at me, her lips pressed up to her wine glass as she speaks. Luvun, was it? Do you dance? Oh. Well, I'm certainly not beat deaf, but I wouldn't consider myself the best at dancing. She eyes me while taking a sip from her glass. Her eyes are starting to give off less of a dead look and more of a smug demeanor. I guess we'll just have to see. She holds out her hand. Would you like to dance? I stare at her hand for a moment, feeling a bit intimidated. It's not that I don't want to dance, it's just that I don't want to inflict more harm to my dignity. No, it's just a dance. Nothing out of the ordinary. I take her hand in my own and give a slight bow. It would be my pleasure. She gives me an excited smile. It's weird, she doesn't seem like the type to smile. The first impression I got from her made me think she would be much more stern. I think I'll go get one last drink. We leave Raynar as he heads for the tables and make our way out to the floor. The musicians are already playing a song, so we just join the dance. Alright guys, I'm gonna pause it right here. Seems like a good enough place to pause it before we start getting into the real meat and potatoes of this little dance. I can already tell there's a lot of intrigue going on here. People are testing Luvun. Yep, I can tell right now this is the perfect place to observe him. See how clueless he is. See how unguarded he may be. But anyway, guys, it's been another episode of Lyre. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and leave a super thanks if you can. It always helps. I love you all. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!